Hi, my name is Tim Carter, store manager for Pure Hockey. Today we just want to discuss what happens when you bring your skates in for sharpening. In this video we're going to discuss the training of our employees who sharpen your skates, the process of skate sharpening, and what happens after your skates are sharpened. Every sharpener in our company is trained on how to grind every depth of hollow. We will discuss this more in detail later. They are also trained on how to cross grind your skates, both new and used blades. Yes, this does make a difference, especially on new blades. Every sharpener is then tested for accuracy over numerous sharpenings until the store manager is confident in their ability to sharpen your skates. Here's a brief explanation of skate sharpening. We will go into details of each step later on in the video. First, both of your skates are cross ground to remove the old sharpening and any burrs or knockdown or rolled edges. Second, both of your skates are ground out to your desired hollow. Hollows will range from 1/4 inch to 2 inch. These two extremes are usually never used. Third, once the hollow is filled out and both of your edges are formed, your skate blades will be honed with a hand stone to remove any tiny burrs left behind from the finishing stone. Seems simple, right? The answer is both yes and no. Now we'll go into the explanation of the skate hollow. As I said earlier, they can range from as small as 1/4 inch all the way up to 2 inches. These extremes are, rarely ever used, but the smaller the radius, meaning 1/4 inch, the more the skates are going to bite into the ice, therefore feeling sharper. If you go all the way up to a 2 inch, that's going to feel not sharp at all, very mild. So the differences between the two of them, the sharper you have your skates or the deeper the hollow is going to give you more bite. More bite is going to give you the feeling of being more sharp. However, it's going to dig into the ice more. Therefore, you're going to use more energy and you're going to not be as fast because you're sinking into the ice. Conversely, if you use something that is mild, you're going to glide on top of the ice more because you're not digging in as much. Your cornering and maneuverability is going to suffer because you're not going to have that bite in the ice that you would on the deeper sharpening. The hollow that is ground into your skates will give you the feeling of being sharp or less sharp. This is going to come down to a few different factors. The first of which is going to be personal preference, how sharp or less sharp you like your skates to feel. The second part of it would be venue. As you will see or may have seen, different rinks ice surfaces are going to feel different. Some may be hard, some may be soft, so you'll want to adjust according to that. The last would be time of year. If you are skating in the dead of winter, most of the time the ice is going to be very hard. Therefore, you might want a deeper hollow than normal. Conversely, if you're skating in the blistering hot sun and you're in a rink and the ice is most likely going to be soft. Therefore, if it's soft, you're going to sink into the ice more. So you might want to back off your sharpening or sharpen it a little bit less of a hollow so that you're going to sit on top of the ice as much as you can. Now we're going to talk about glide versus bite. Glide versus bite is going to have to do with the depth of your hollow. The more bite you have, the skate is going to be feeling sharper, therefore it's going to sink into the ice more. The more that you sink into the ice, the more energy you're going to use to actually skate. However, you're going to have more stability and maneuverability in the corners. If you have more glide versus bite, you're most likely going to have a shallower sharpening, therefore you're going to glide on top of the ice more and have less bite when you're cornering and maneuvering. So this is something that you're going to find a happy medium, depending on the time of the year, the venue that you skate at, and your personal preference. Lastly, we're going to discuss some skate maintenance. When you bring your skates into sharpening, most likely they're going to look just like this. However, they're going to be soaking wet. As much as we'd love to sell you skates every 6 months and sell more skates than not, we're going to go over a little bit to maintain your skates, how to keep them as new as possible for you to perform on the ice. When you're done skating, when the skates are soaking wet, there's a couple of simple things that'll actually help maintain the skate, maintain the blade, maintain the rivets, maintain the eyelets. All of these things are made out of metal, as well as the skate hardware that holds the blade in. These things, if obviously water gets to them, they're going to start to corrode, rust, therefore they're not going to remain in place. Your skates could fall apart, break. Again, we don't want to have that happen. So 3 things that you can do. First, when you're taking your skates off, always undo the top eyelet. Pull your laces out as much as possible. This will allow you to get your foot out more easily. Therefore, you're not going to be snapping your tendon guard back here. So you're going to pull your tongue out much like so. Secondly, you'd want to take out the footbed. The reason for that is that water is going to get trapped underneath the footbed. Underneath the footbed are your rivets, which are on the bottom of your skate here, and you don't want those to rust out and corrode. Lastly, you're going to want to take off your skate soakers so that all 3 of these components will dry separately from one another. Therefore, when you go to skate the very next day, put all 3 of them back together. Your skates are nice and dry. Your rivets don't rust. Your blades aren't pitted out. Your hardware's still in place, and your eyelets work.